this grandpa. You know, a lot of y'all ask me where I come from, my upbringing, where I lived as a kid. Well, I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I decided just to ride around in my old neighborhood when I was a little boy and show you. Now remember, all these homes when I was growing up were brand new. They were brand new neighborhood, man. They were building the houses. I used to roam these streets day and night. Had all my friends, you know, we all played out here and had a good time. God damn, they don't put speed bumps out in this motherfucker. Go tear my motherfucking van up. Maybe I ought not come in this neighborhood. This takes me back, boy, when I was 8, 9, 10, 11-year-old, you know. This is where I used to play. This was my playground. I used to roam these streets, and right there was old Donald Patch's house. Boy, he was a little fella. First piece of pussy I ever had in my life was right here. Her name was Hardy. I ain't going no further than that. Y'all don't need to know her name. All these were, like I said, brand new houses back then. Now they ain't nothing but a bunch of fucking shacks. You know, they ought to tear, you know, after so many years, they need to tear places down, start over. I remember old Billy King. Billy King used to live right there, man. I used to spend a lot of my time at Billy's house. We'd sit there, man, we'd plot. We had a little old woman, man. I was like 10 years old, and her old man was in the Navy, you know? And me and Billy go to her house, the old man be at sea. And we go to her house and stay all day long, and she'd play with us. Then there was the preacher lived right there. But yeah, this is back in the day, boy, when life was easy and fun and carefree, and you could play outside at nighttime, and nobody would bother you. You just had a ball. Then there's old Jean Saleeby's house. Boy, I was in love with her. She was my neighborhood love. Now I don't even know what happened to her. You know, a lot of people we grew up with, we don't know what happens to them. Now I'm gonna go show you where I grew up, my house. I remember when our house was built, Mom and Daddy would go over there and they picked out, you know, the colors of the walls and what kind of tile to put it on the floor. And I know there's a honey lived right here, man. She was the hottest bitch in your life you ever seen, man. I ain't lying. Then there was old Ducker's house over here. Old Ducker's house. I remember old Ducker's house. And David Webb used to live right there. Motherfucker committed suicide. Couldn't take no more life and just said, fuck it. Committed suicide at, what, 21, 22 years old? And right here is where I grew up. That's my old house. Those trees, I remember planting them son of a bitches. Every damn one of them, boy. My daddy's, and all that grass, my daddy made me plant. Got us out there on our hands and knees planting that goddamn grass. God damn, I hated them fucking days. Man, we go visit Barnwell or something, you know, and where I was from, where my mom and them are from. We go to Barnwell, and they dig up trees. They go out in the woods and dig up camellia trees and azalea trees, and we had to come home and plant all day on Sunday afternoon. Ain't had no time to play. Then there was old Annie Williams, lived right there in that old brick house. His daddy was an officer in the Navy. Mama was a real asshole. She got a big fight with a neighbor one time. She told that man, "You can't talk to me that way. I'm a lady." He said, "You ain't no lady. You a fucking female." Oh, the provost lived there. And then old Kenny. Remember old Kenny? God damn. Had a many good time in that boy's house, man. Shit. Smoked a lot of dope in there too. Had it, man. Damn. Then bring back old memories. Then over there, the old Ducker house. This place run down now. Had me a motherfucking bulldozer. I just bulldozed this motherfucker down. Then there was the Agp's, boy, and they were some ugly motherfucking people. Jesus Christ, you wouldn't want to kiss that girl with a dog dick. Woo, that was an ugly goddamn girl. Now we just riding through the old hood. Man, I used to come right here in this house right here. There was a girl there, her last name was Wells. I used to bang the hell out of that bitch. You know, Michael, back when I was going to school, you know, I used to work at a little place called the Dairy Royal. And I cooked burgers and shit.
Dairy Royal?
Yeah, it's their ice cream and shit, okay?
So like a Dairy Queen.
God damn it, shut up. Anyway.
Like a Dairy Queen.
Like a Dairy Queen. Anyway, the boss man used to raise hell, boy. We drop food and shit. That's coming out your pocket next time. That's coming out your pocket. So I figured one day, man, I'm cooking this burger, man. I'm like flipping motherfuckers, you know? I was trying to be real good. So I flipped that burger, motherfucker, hit the grill and bounced on the floor. Well, I said, I ain't paying for this bitch. So I reached out there and picked it up, you know, blew it off, you know, put it back on the bun, wrapped it up, served it to the man. Man said, thank you much. When he got that burger, boy, and he went and sat down at the table. He looked at me and said, man, that's the best burger I ever tasted. No one motherfucker had shit from the floor all over that goddamn burger. I laughed my ass off that silly son of a bitch, boy. He went steady spitting him, steady. That motherfucker consumed that burger like 3 bites.
Damn, I was like filth all over that shit. Did you bother wiping it off?
No.
Oh God, so you're spitting on his food now.
Oh yeah, I spit on his food too then.
So you dropped food.
I dropped food, I spit on it, and I fed it to the motherfucker, okay? That's what I did, and he ate it, and he was spitting it, and he was...
Okay, we're gonna die here.
Then one time, man, I had the ice cream, right?
What do you mean ice cream?
Well, I had to work in the dairy part.
Oh, right, same restaurant.
Yeah, and I had the same, but I had the same, but I put that thing... God damn.
Oh, we're dead.
Oh, shut up.
Farewell.
Anyway, I was swirling the damn ice cream up on the cone, you know? So one day, man, I'm sitting there, boy, and I'm swirling that ice cream, and this little kid, ice cream, I want ice cream, mommy, I want ice cream. She said, give him a vanilla, please. So I started swirling, that motherfucker started to fall, and I grabbed it, I did that thing, put my hand, you know, oh, shoot. Oh, I kind of shoved it back on the goddamn cone, and I threw my hand, I went,
did they see?
No. I said, here you go, kid.
Dad always does that. When he's cooking and shit, he's... Even when you own your restaurant, motherfuckers getting burgers and shit, he
yeah, in that restaurant. You remember that little snack bar?
Yeah, oh yeah.
And then no matter what I cook.
That's so the God's honest truth.
Swear to God, I always had to taste it. One time I scratched my ass and went, oh, goddamn this.
Oh shit, man.
That was back in the day we had a little snack bar at the damn flea market. That was fun though. Michael was the cook, you know, Michael was a little tiny shit. Michael was the cook. Man, come out there, he wanted 2 eggs, bacon, and grits. And he saw Michael, he said, is that little fella there cooking my food? I said, yes sir he is. Well then I don't want it. I said, what do you mean? He said, I don't want no little boy cooking my food. I just want to get the fuck up the street. I don't want your ass in anyway.
Hey, I was a good cook.
I swear to God, I think we've done about every kind of business in the world.
I told everybody about the clown business.
Oh, now we're done. Oh, Peggy Sue, how old Metro misses you.
That was really, I'm saying, I'm like overweight in this fucking costume, man.
Yeah, I'm just scared, man.
Oh, the little peanut wagon. I remember you had that peanut business.
Oh God, I'd love to have the peanut business again.
Any gross shit ever happen when you're making peanuts?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
The whole goddamn, some fella kicked the whole goddamn pot of peanuts on the ground. I just cooked them goddamn peanuts.
What, you didn't serve them, did you?
I stored them up, put them back in the pot, used them up.
Oh,
goddamn grass and shit floating on the top and all, you know?
Oh man, you do not deserve a business.
I'll tell you the moral of the story. Don't ever eat out that motherfucking cook.
You got it.
You know, Michael, this reminds me when I was a little boy. My daddy used to bring us down here, you know, weekends. Because back then, man, people had blankets, man, spread everywhere, you know, and the whole they had like a band up here on the gazebo. One night I was sitting here on the same, well, it ain't the same bench, because this bench has probably been replaced 9, 10 times, but I was a kid. My daddy had us sitting there, you know, we were listening to the band up there. That used to be where they used to sell slaves. They just keep in the bottom. And they'd bring them out and let you look at the teeth, and you look like a horse, man, pick up, look at the hoof, you know, and shit. Look, open the mouth, take the women, man, they spread their shirts open, you know, look at the breast, you know. But anyway, we were sitting there one day, man, and me and my dad and my sister, we were sitting here, band was playing, you know, and I'm like, I was a little fuck. And there was a little black boy dancing up on there on stage, but he was just dancing to the gazebo, you know. He had on raggy ass clothes, you know, and no shoes. I said, Daddy, look at that man, look at that little boy up there, he up there dancing on that gazebo. I said, can I go up there and dance, Daddy? Daddy said, no, you can't go up there, son, they kick you out. I said, they ain't telling him to move. Dad said, who you talking about, son? I said, that little boy's right. He wasn't there no more. He just disappeared. Word was, he was one of the slaves that was sold. And before they sold him, somebody shot him and killed him. Right there on the steps of that gazebo right there. And that's why whenever the gazebo would be out there playing, the little boy would be out there dancing. That's a true story. That's a true story. I know I farted. Can you tell?
Yeah, I could tell.
Anyway, back during the Civil War, before something right over there, you know?
You ain't gonna be hearing nothing because of that blast.
You're back during the Civil War, you know, before something just right there. And this is where the first shot the Civil War was fired. And people that lived right, like on top of these houses, see on top of these houses and everything?
Yeah.
They would take their rocking chairs and shit, and they'd go up on top and they'd watch them before something being bombarded. And they would just be there. And they say sometimes you right here at nighttime now, and you hear some noise in these houses. Ain't no way to get on them damn roofs either. And you hear rocking chairs rocking. They say people still watching people before it's not being bombarded.
That's creepy.
That's a pretty true story. Can you imagine back in the old days, old man, this place, the pirates being hung and shit? The hanging tree's right over there. And that's a big dog. Jesus.
Certainly is.
Put a saddle on that dog and ride him. It's been so long since I've been here. I know it's in this area. I knew it. There it is. This was my dad. My dad was a sergeant in the U.S. Army, World War II. He was born on January the 25th and died the 25th, 1925. He died July the 6th. My dad was an avid 4th of July. He supported the military. He loved the military. He was in the Veterans Hospital for years. My dad was paralyzed from the neck down. My dad couldn't walk. I'm sorry. I did a lot of rotten things to my dad. And I'm sorry for it. This has been a long time coming. This is not my usual vlog. This isn't, I'm trying to make you laugh. I'm trying to give y'all a little sense of what you need. You know, people, y'all just, I did not tell my dad I loved him before he died. I had problems with my dad. My dad and I didn't talk for years. You know how many times I wish I could go back? Man. I'm sorry. I'm gonna go through this. Y'all can laugh at it, laugh at me all you want. Do you know how much I wish I could go back now and say, Dad, I love you? I'm sorry. A lot of y'all out there right now have got the opportunity to go to the ones that you love. Y'all got that opportunity to go to your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister, somebody that you wronged. You need to go to them and say, look here, man, I'm sorry for what I did. I'm sorry I mistreated you. I'm sorry I did this. I'm sorry I did that. I'm sorry I didn't listen to you when I thought I was smarter than you were. You just... Sorry. Please. You know, we lose them. And when we lost them, we can't go back. We can't grab them. We can't hug them. We can't say I'm sorry. If you've got your mom, your dad, whoever, and things aren't right with you, go to them, make it right. Because one day you're going to be like I am right now that I should have done years ago. Dad, I'm sorry. I wish I'd have done things different. But I thought I knew more. I thought I knew more, Dad. I thought I was smarter than you, and I'm not. I'm not. You know, my dad swore by the military. He was in the nursing home at the VA hospital in the last 10 years before he died. And he did what he called the Nursing Home Gazette, and he had recipes. A lot of my recipes come from him. I learned a lot from my dad. Like I said, we didn't see eye to eye. I did mean things to him. And I never got a chance to say, Dad, I'm sorry. My dad left. Now I can't hug him. But Dad, I swear to you, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. And I know you have, because you love me. You love me unconditionally. You love me the way a parent loves a child, unconditionally. No matter what that child does, you're there. There's a lot of you people out there that need to learn that. You need to wise up. You need to grab your child and say, hey, I love you, goddammit. I love you. Please see it, people, before it's too late. I'm not trying to be funny today. I'm not trying to be facetious. I'm just telling you how it is. Go to them. Tell them you love them. Hug them. Because you never know. They might die tonight. They might die in the morning. And then you never had the chance to grab them and hug them. I know I'm sounding like a broken record, but I don't give a shit. You know I don't give a damn. Dad, with all my heart, forgive me. And I know you have. Take care of Mama. She's with you too. It's bad when you lose both your parents, but they went to a better place. Goodbye, Dad. And thank you for talking to me. And thank you for forgiving me. I'm telling you, people, you've got the opportunity now while they're alive. And if they're dead, do like I just did. Go to the funeral. Go to the burial ground and tell them, say, hey, I'm sorry. They hear you. They're there. I don't care. People say when you're dead, you're gone. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. My dad's right there. My dad's right here. My dad's in my heart. My mom's in my heart. This is not my usual vlog. This is something I had to do for me. And it's done. I can now move on and be the best that I can be. And I can be there. You know what's done this? A lot of y'all send me letters and you got me thinking. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Grandpa saying, tell them you love them, give them a hug. Bye, kids. Hey, youngins. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. Old Grandpa. You ever just have something just pop in your head? Y'all gotta bear with me, man. I just woke up. You know, life's funny. I'm not trying to be funny now. I'm just saying life's funny. I just woke up thinking about my sister. You know, my sister's in the hospital. They've got her on, but they got on some equipment, you know, this cleaning out her, filtering stuff, and I don't know, I ain't no doctor. But I woke up thinking, that's the only sister I got in this world. My sister and I, we've never really seen eye to eye on a lot of stuff. And we've had some buttes and some arguments. I didn't even put my teeth in. Anyway, we've had some buttes of arguments. She and I fought over a lot of stuff. But I love my sister. Let's get that straight right now. I will fight you over my sister. My sister's the only person I got left in this world. I realize I've got youngins. I've got children. But it's not the same as it is with your sibling. The one you grew up with. The one that, when you were little, used to share rooms together with, you know, because you lived in a little old 2-bedroom house in St. Andrews Homes and had to share a room. My sister's in the hospital, and from what I understand, she ain't gonna make it. 6 months, year, month, who knows? You never know when God's gonna call you home. And I know y'all see the side of me, the rough and tough guy, you know. But I'm also family oriented. Damn, it's hard waking up 3 o'clock in the morning and doing this. Well, why am I even doing this for? But my sister and I had a lot of hard times. We went through poverty when we were little. I remember her first marriage. It wasn't a good marriage. Hell, neither was mine. We had problems. But we were there for each other. When things were really bad. I remember one time, she and I, we lived in St. Andrews Homes. I was like 6 years old, and she was like, what, 9, 10, something like that. And we were going to the circus. And we ain't had no money to go. Mama gave us each $1 a piece to go to the circus. We were going with a friend of my mama's. Charlene went in there and she done took $10 out of Mama's wallet. We went to the circus. Mama got the next morning looking for her $10 and it was gone. And I remember her cutting my ass because she knew I did it, you know, because I did everything, you know. Charlene stood up, no, Mama, I took the $10. Too late then, Mama done kicked my ass. But I remember Mama just couldn't believe Charlene do something like that. I remember my sister was all big in the church. You know, she was in the choir and she taught Sunday school. And church doors open, Charlene was there. Me? Baby. My ass is home playing. I ain't going to church. I ain't never gone to church much. But yeah, church choir goes on a trip during the summer. My sister ride along with them, you know. Good old Miss Masters, a real nice, sweet old lady, used to pay my sister's way to go on those trips. Because we didn't have nothing. My daddy, he got hurt when I was like 10 years old. He was paralyzed from the neck down for 34, 35 years before he died. My sister had to quit school. And because Mama had to work, because, you know, Mama had to pay the bills, Mama had to feed us. And my sister quit school and took care of my daddy. And I mean, when I said took care of my daddy, you're talking about a 15, 16-year-old girl having to wash her daddy's ass, give him a bath, 7 days a week. My sister did everything for my daddy. Mama worked, she'd come home and then she'd take over daddy, and Charlene could go out if she wanted to, or whatever, but she didn't. She stayed right there. I remember one time she was in the church. She was in what they call the WMU. And that's still some kind of women's shit. I ain't know, you know. But she was the treasurer. I stole the money. Oh, I stole the money and Mama had to pay it back. Mama cut my ass, took me to the barbershop, shaved my head too. I never done that shit again. Learned my lesson on that. I've been thinking on, dreaming about my sister, thinking about her, you know. I'm gonna miss my sister when she goes. And who knows, hell, she might even outlive me. It's strange how things work. Man, I look bad. Man, God. My sister and I went through hard times. And you know something, I'm going to tell y'all, I'm going to start telling y'all more about my life. And you know, y'all know me, but y'all don't know me. Y'all know where I am now, but you don't know where I was when I was coming up. I know I tell y'all about the Woodstock stuff and stuff like that, but I don't tell you about my home life. You're going to find out over the next couple months, because between now and Christmas, I'm going to leave my whole story out. Good, bad, like it or not, I don't care.
He thinks he's smart, but I got news for him.
There's some good people in this world. And you don't have to look far to find them. There's people that want to help you. There's people that want to do things. Give them a chance. There were times that, even in my adult life, if I needed somebody, I could talk to my sister. Things would worry me and bother me, and Mama was busy or something, I could talk to my sister. So yeah, I can honestly truly say that my sister goes, because like I say, she is in the hospital, she's not doing good. I wish her the best, Charlene, I love you. I will miss you. And we'll talk more about that if anything happens. But right now, I hope you're getting better. I pray that you get strong again and that nothing happens. I love you, Charlene. I never told you that. Sure, I mean, I've gone and I love you, sis, and shit like that, but you know something? I've never told you like this. I love you, sis. I love you. Goodbye. People, I will be back. I guess I gotta go because I need to go back to bed. Like I say, that was what? It's almost 3:30 in the morning. I'm tired. I want to go back to bed. But I was thinking about my sister and I had to get it out. And I'm pretty sure Michael's going to throw some inserts in there because y'all seen my sister in videos and y'all liked her because y'all liked the way she handled me. Bye, youngins. I'll see you on the next one. You all knew that my sister, she passed away a couple months ago. Well, I had a niece. And she's not doing too good. She's in the hospital. She's been there a little over a week. And they expect every breath to be her last one. Susan's a good girl. But lungs are shot, some other things, but I'll miss Susan, but as of right this moment, she's not gone yet because I hadn't had the phone call. My problem. And you know who you are because I know you watch my videos. You're a piece of shit. When you were little and your daddy walked away from you and your sperm donor walked away from you and he didn't want nothing to do with you, Mama was there. Mama was there. She took care of you. She fed you. You may not have had the best clothes in town, but you had clothes. You may not have had the best toys in the neighborhood, but you had toys. You're an asshole. Your mother's been there over a week, and they've been trying to get in touch with you for a week, and you're ducking the phone calls. Michael went to your Facebook page today, and instead of saying, "My mom's sick," anything, you got little cartoon characters on your goddamn Facebook. Well, Bo, I want you to know, I'm saying this on video because I ain't never talking to you again. I got no more respect for you. I don't want nothing else to do with you. You know, it's funny, you know, when somebody in your family's going, I don't care how bad things are. I don't care what problems you have with the person. It's still family. I've got a son, Charles. He and I haven't been close in 5, 6 years. Didn't talk for 4 of those years. But you know, I got to thinking, you know, I says, my problem with Charlie isn't what he does. It's not with how he runs his life, because, now, don't get me wrong, this boy, he gets up in the mornings, he goes to work. He does his job. He pays his child support. He goes home, has him a couple of beers, watches a little TV, gets on the Facebook. Charlie's not a bad boy. My problem with Charlie was he didn't meet my expectations. But you know something? He don't have to. He don't have to meet my expectations or what I want him to do with his life. He's a grown man. He has to do what he thinks is best to do with his own life. I now have a relationship with my son. We talk now. We talk on the phone. We're Facebooking. And I'm happy with that. I love all 5 of my kids. And I love all 9 of my grandchildren. It would kill me knowing that I was in the hospital sick and on my deathbed and my son wouldn't come see me because he was ashamed, he was embarrassed, or he was mad with me about stuff. If that would be the case, then he's not my son. I guess I'm a little ticked, you know? And Charlie, I know you watch my videos because you watch them all, sucker. I love you. Don't you ever think that I don't love you, because I do. You live for yourself, son, and you do what you have to make you happy. You don't have to make me happy. But that's really a problem with a lot of families nowadays. They're not talking to the kids, and the kids aren't talking to them because they don't quite do what the parents want them to do, or they don't quite live like the parents want them to live. So the parents get mad and they want to argue with them and fight with them. man, they're gonna grow up, they're gonna live life the way they want to, not the way you want them to. I understand that. And my so-called ex-nephew, don't worry about me no more, Bo. I got nothing after this to say to you. You've let your mama down, but you will pay. You will pay the price. One day, probably not today, may not be tomorrow, but you will realize that was your mama. She's not there anymore, and you can't talk to her anymore, and you can't hug her, and you can't kiss her, and you just can't do nothing. I'm pissed. So, Bo, be happy with your life, because AGP's family, my side anyway, I can't talk about your grandmama's side, but on my side, you don't exist. So you're wearing the chute now. So when you're in the hospital and you need somebody, don't call me. I ain't coming. Live your life, have fun with it, do what you think you need to do with your life, boy. Susan, I love you. I never saw you that I didn't leave and you say, Uncle Charlie, I love you. I remember when you were 3 years old and I just got in a car and I took you for a ride with me because I went somewhere and I got in a wreck. It wasn't a bad wreck, I just hit the fender, you know. But Susan was sitting there in the front seat of the car and she was, you know. And I said, Susan, don't tell your grandma and your granddaddy about this. Okay? Don't tell them Uncle Charlie got in a wreck. She said, okay, Uncle Chachi, okay, Uncle Chachi, okay, Uncle Chachi. I said, okay, I'll buy you an ice cream. So I took her and bought her an ice cream and went back to the house, and she went, buzzed out that door, and she went, Grandmama, Uncle Chachi got in a wreck. I was in the car, Charlie got in a wreck. I said, oh, I got a lot of little stories about Susan, but that's the one that sticks out in my mind the most. I hope everybody's wrong, and I hope she comes out of this well. But if not, Susan, I love you. You were the first kid. Both sides. Imagine. Anyway, Charlie, I love you, son. Kimberly, Jennifer, I love all y'all. Dawn, Michelle, Michael, you know I care about you, boy. Rest, you know, those are my 5 youngins. Charlie, Jennifer, Kimberly, Michael, and Dawn Michelle. She lives in Alabama. Love all 5 of my youngins. And all 9 of my grandkids. Anyway, I'm getting a little misty-eyed now, and I think it's best I get off because I'm going to say some shit that I really don't want to say and hurt some feelings that I don't want to hurt. Not really. But anyway, bye, youngins. I'll see you on the next one.
Pop.
What now?
Okay, your fans have a question.
They always got questions.
This is a different one. They want to know, they want you to explain what the hag is. What is the hag? Okay.
I don't know if you can handle the hag.
Hag's not real.
Hag is real.
Hag's real.
Let me tell you. Let me tell you about that fucking hag. Let me tell you about the damn hag. Many years ago, I wasn't drinking, I was at my mama's house. And I was sitting in an easy chair. And all of a sudden, man, I couldn't breathe. It was like somebody took their hand, cut it on now. And I went, oh God, I was trying to talk, nobody could hear me. I tried to move, couldn't move. Next thing I know, boy, somebody in the room said, oh my God, what's wrong with him? What's wrong with him? And we had this black lady, that's the hag. That's the hag. She come up and she started cussing. Goddamn bitch, get off him. Get off him. He ain't done nothing to you. And I'm going, in my mind, man, I was trying to fight to get it. I couldn't move. The hag was laying on top of me. I couldn't move, man. She was like, Abby, I couldn't. I'm like, can't breathe, can't move. And that cousin made the hag move. So I asked the old lady, I said, what was that? She said, that was the hag. She said, you were sitting there and the hag was in the house and you were vulnerable. And the hag jumped on you. And when the hag jumps on you, you can't move, you can't breathe, you can't shit. And she's real. And she comes when you least expect her. And I've had the hag on me 4 times. So don't tell me the hag ain't real. The hag is very much real.
It's called sleep apnea.
It's called suck my dick. The hag is real. You young man, you better learn about it. The hag gonna jump you. And I ain't gonna be around to cuss the hag. So you better learn right now. You better. I get choked up thinking about it. The old hag. You kind of look like that goddamn Harold Camping.
You had me afraid to sleep on my back for so many years because I was afraid of the hag.
You better be glad you didn't get the hag to lay on top of you. You don't see me lay on my back, I lay on my side. But that don't matter, the hag can still get you. She'll come in the goddamn bed with you, boy. Now, you know what the hag is now?
I know what you say the hag is.
Well, that's the hag, so kiss my ass. Get back to what I was doing. Go! That was a couple of seconds of silence for whom I believe the greatest president who ever lived, John F. Kennedy. It was 50 years ago today. The weather was pretty much, it was a little chilly, a little overcast, and I was in the 5th grade. I probably should have been in the 7th, but I failed. But I was in the 5th grade, I was at Stono Park Elementary School. And I remember the principal coming over the loudspeaker. Attention, attention, I have an announcement. And it's like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And I remember, shit, no math test. President John F. Kennedy was assassinated today. He was shot and killed in Texas. Being young, you know, I really didn't know too much. So I was like the other kids in the class, yay, no school, you know. I remember getting on the bus, and I remember the bus driver crying. I remember the bus driver saying, please, young'uns, show respect. A great man died today. I remember the bus ride was silent. Nobody said a word. Everybody was quiet. I remember getting off at the bus stop. I remember walking up to a house. We lived in a house, but we had a porch. I remember walking up to the porch. My mother was sitting on the porch. My mother was crying. Mom, what's wrong? Mama, please quit crying. What's wrong? I can see my mama now sitting on that porch. Son, we lost a great man today. We lost the greatest president this country's ever had. We lost a man who cared for everybody. We lost a man who wanted everybody to have equal rights. My mother sobbed. She grabbed me, she held me, she said, son, I don't want you to grow up in a world where people kill people just because they're different, they think different. My mom held me, she's close. I can still feel my mother holding me. I hear my mother talking about President Kennedy and what he meant to the country, what he meant to the individual, what he meant to people. I remember the TV. We didn't have 24-hour stations, but for those 3 days, that Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, there was 24 hours, nothing but John Kennedy. I remember the Lee Harvey Oswald when they found him. I remember when they arrested him and they put him in, and it was like the man who shot the president of the United States has been captured. I remember thinking to myself that he needs to die. I remember that Sunday when Jack Ruby, they even showed him talking to some of the reporters. And when Jack Ruby took his gun, when they brought Lee Harvey Oswald out to transfer him, I remember seeing Jack Ruby shooting Lee Harvey Oswald, and I remember, good, die! My mother, my father, crying because it ended a part of me, it ended a part of them, it ended a part of you. If 50 years ago, November the 22nd, 1963, is a day we'll never forget. I remember seeing the funeral, the procession. I remember them going to the cemetery. I remember them lighting the eternal flame, and that flame is never out. I swear to God, that was the greatest man that ever lived. You people get the way y'all do. Y'all don't. You young ones, you need to go look at your history books and read about Jack Kennedy, because he was the greatest president that ever lived. He was a family man. True, he had a problem with women. But name me one man that doesn't have a problem of some kind. I still see my mother on the porch. I still see her crying. I see her holding me. I see the Kennedys consoling Jacqueline. Mr. President, 50 years later, I still know where I was, what I was doing, and I remember what happened. God bless you, Mr. President. I know you're looking down on this country now, smiling. Goodbye, Mr. President. That's all I got. Turn it off, please. Grandpa here. You know, when I did that vlog about Kennedy, it brought back a lot of memories for me. 54 years ago today, my dad got into a car wreck. 54 years ago today, my life changed forever. Before then, I was a playful little boy, had a daddy who would go out with me and play football, do things, take me to places, you know. And but on that particular morning, the 23rd, my daddy was out that night. He'd been drinking. He tried to take me with him. Mama told him no, I had to stay home. He decided he was going to go visit his mama in North Carolina. On the way there, he wrecked his car. Mama was mad because he left and went like that. She packed us up. We went to my grandmother's in Older, South Carolina. And Mama was talking about leaving Dad. That Saturday, Mama knew something was wrong. She didn't know what. The phone call came to my grandma's house. It was the South Carolina Highway Patrol. Mrs. Green, you need to get back to Charleston. Your husband has been in an accident, and he's in the medical university. Mama packed us up. My grandma says, "You're not going by yourself, honey, I'm going too." So we all got in the car and Mama took off to Charleston. Mama was flying. We got to Charleston and got home. There were neighbors came over, you know, and what's going on? We saw the state troopers here at the house. We didn't know what was going on. Mama didn't say a word. She put us in the house. Grandma came was with us. Mama took off down and met you. Didn't see Mama for 2 weeks, but Mama would call. Said, "Get in touch with your grandmama." Told my grandmama, to get in touch with the other grandmama and them, and tell them that Daddy'd been in the wreck and he was paralyzed from the neck down. I didn't see my dad for 8, 9 weeks. I was a little fella, you know, 8, 9 years old. So we got a chance. You can bring him up because we don't know how much longer he's got, because they didn't expect Dad to live. So we went to the hospital. I was too young, but they were going to sneak me up the back steps. Daddy was on like about the 9th or 10th floor. They were going to sneak me up the steps so that I could see him. And one of the nursing aides there that got to know my mama, them real good, was going to sneak me into the room to see my dad. But on the way there, I got sick and came down with diarrhea and throwing up, and I had to sit in the car because Mama had to go. It was bad. I mean, there was my dad and Mama. Back to Mama. Mama would go to the hospital and stay all night long. And then during the day, she would go to work. Well, this went on for months and months and months. And they had Daddy on a striker frame. And finally, they would just let me go up, you know, because Daddy'd been there for so long. He was on a striker frame. And there he was in a striker frame. Had some tongs in his head, but tied to a rope and a bunch of weights down. And he was in the striker frame where they had to turn him every so often. And when I usually go up there, he'd be facing down, and I'd get on the floor. I'd crawl under the striker frame and talk to my dad. He didn't hear me. He didn't know I was in the world right then. But I knew he heard me. My dad was paralyzed from the neck down. He couldn't move his arms. He could swing his arms, but he couldn't move his hands. He couldn't move his legs. Finally, one day, the hospital got in touch with my mom. They said, "Ms. Green, we have to do something here. The insurance is cut off. There's nobody paying this bill now. Either you make arrangements to pay the bill, or we got to put him out." My mother went to a senator we had called Senator Fritz Hollings. I was a little boy. She carried me with her, and he looked at her and he said, "Ms. Green, you're a young woman. Start over. Forget about him. Go on about your life and give that boy a good daddy that'll take care of you." My mama eat his ass out. She said, "You sorry son of a bitch. You garbage. That's my husband, and we got married for good and worse. For everything. Not until you get into a wreck and you're paralyzed." So Mama left. Somebody got her in touch with Mendel Rivers. He was our congressman. Mama went to see Mendel Rivers. Mendel Rivers got all the information he had to have. He told us, "Get this man in a VA hospital. Get him there today." They said, "Well, this protocol, Congressman Rivers." Congressman Rivers said, Screw the protocol. I want this man in a VA hospital, and I want him there by 6 o'clock tonight." That night, Daddy was in the VA hospital. And you know, I know I'm jumping guns. I'm going from here pillar to post, but these are all these memories that are rushing through my head. You know, you don't think about chronological order at times like this. My dad loved me. I love my dad. But you ask why I don't like Thanksgiving? This is why. My dad got hurt just before Thanksgiving. My dad was a good man. My mother was a great mother. She raised 2 kids when everybody else was saying, Dorothy, you can't do it. Let your brother raise this one. Let this brother raise that one. Let me tell you something. My mom would say, screw you, they're my kids. They're not going nowhere. They're mine. They're not leaving Charles and I. Christmas, my mama was, that first Christmas, we had nothing. We had no tree, no nothing. Mama was working for GEX, which is a government exchange store. And they came over and they brought us a tree and groceries. And I think that's why, you know, I like helping people, because we were helped when I was a kid. It's just, it's impossible to say everything that I want to say. You never know what's going to happen to you in life. You never know. My daddy loved me. My daddy got drunk, true. My daddy got in a car wreck because of his own choice. That's true. But my daddy spent almost 40 years looking up, asking for forgiveness. If that man wasn't forgiven, then I don't know who could be. It's funny how one thing can trigger memories of something else. I love my dad. I love my mother. My dad paid for everything he ever did. For 30-something years, he paid, and he paid, and he paid, and he paid. I'm telling you, youngins, if y'all drink, if you do, don't get behind a wheel. My life was changed forever. I don't want your life changed forever. I really don't know what else I can say. Over 50 years ago today, Charles Green had a wreck. I love you, Daddy. I miss you so much. Now you're gone. Mama's gone. Charlene's gone. I got nobody left. Everybody else, I think that's why oh my God. I'm sorry. I don't mean to cry like this. Just this hit me hard now. You know, my sister passed away this year. My niece passed away this year. I guess I'm feeling all alone in the world now. 54 years ago today, my life was changed forever. And I remember today, like it was yesterday. A strong woman raising 2 kids, taking care of an invalid husband. And now it was the 4 of us. Now it's just the one. I don't know if Michael's gonna put this up or not. But I hope it helps somebody, because if you're out there and you're hurting over family tragedies like this, you're not alone. You're not alone. There's a lot of us in the same boat, and we all got a paddle. At least Daddy's in a pretty place. Let me scan this place. It's a beautiful place.